Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you all are well today. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jackie, and this is my channel. I am Forever Faithful. And today I just wanted to share with you how I gained clarity in my wilderness season and how I was guided. And let me just say that during this time, of course, my whole world was turned upside down, and I was experiencing PTSD, and I was searching for answers, some clarity, because nothing made sense to me at the time. So for me, I had never been on, I won't say I'd never been on YouTube, but it was rare that I would go on YouTube, but I had nothing but time to to heal myself, right? So I go on YouTube and I start watching horoscope videos. And reading my horoscope has been something I've done since I was a preteen. And so it was a place I would go for some type of clarity or guidance, right? So now I'm watching these horoscope videos. And then I started to get into self-help and spiritual videos, spirituality, things about the spirit and incarnation, things like that. So, and from that, I went on to tarot. I didn't really know anything about tarot, but again, looking for answers. So I start watching a lot more videos on tarot. And that's when I began to receive what I would say for me, some concrete answers to some questions that I had about my experiences. And once I began to gain clarity about that, this is a spiritual warfare that I had just experienced um, with my family, with friends, with fucking freaking strangers and associates, right? So I was like, okay, so this is a spiritual warfare. And these videos began to explain to me about the generational curses and how that there's always one person, at least one or two people within the family that never feel like that they belong. They feel out of place, unique. Nobody seems to understand them. You think differently than everyone else. You do things, you know, with to your own rhythm. Like you just stand out. You don't mean to stand out, but you stand out. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's me. So I began to gain more clarity about that I am the one to break the generational curses. And what that really meant is that my ancestors, some of them made some agreements and oaths and contracts and all of that stuff way before I was born. We're talking about lifetimes, many lifetimes. So I was like, oh, this is much bigger than I ever imagined. This is a lot deeper than I was actually prepared for. But that's when I began to gain clarity and understanding that, these evil spirits are using people in your life in my life that I was close to cause any type of harm, whether it be mental, physical, financial, emotional harm. So I was like, okay, now I'm beginning to unravel this ball of yarn I called my life, and I'm like, okay, so here I am. I am a curse breaker, generational curse breaker, and this is my mission. It was a hard mission, very harsh mission, and I was like, well, I didn't sign up for this. And then it's like, yeah, your soul did. You as a human, don't recall this, but like this is why you're here, is to break the generational curses. So I said, okay. And as I'm watching these videos and gaining more knowledge and clarity about everything, I began to see on my feed twin flames, divine feminine, divine masculine. And for months, I probably, weeks, months, I passed by it. My mind was already overloaded in a sense with information. I was still digesting, processing and digesting all this information. So I'm like, I can't even get into that. But I just kept seeing it and seeing it. And I didn't, I was like, okay, fine. I don't know what this divine feminine, this divine masculine is. I don't know, this twin flame. I don't know. But I'm curious now. Let me see. Because I kept seeing and I was like, maybe there's something to this. Well, it was actually an answer, quite a few answers to questions that I've had for a long time. I don't know, 15, 20 years. So the twin flame, the divine feminine and divine masculine, these videos explain to me that Mixter X, which is the guy that I met years ago, thought that, we had an instant connection. It's very deep connection that really can't explain. It's an undeniable love. And I knew this was God's love, divine source love, right? So I was like, and I never understood my whole, connection to this person, because they were always in and out of my life. They would show up every year and a half, 2 years, out of the blue, contact me, and then we'll meet up to get a bite to eat. So 2, 3 hours max. And then he's gone for another year, 2, 3, 4. Right now, I think it's been about 7 years, at least 7, 8 years since the last time I saw Mr. X, or even spoken to him or had any type of communication with him. So I was perplexed at this whole thing since the first time I met him. Like, what is this, right? So the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the twin flame thing, let actually let me know that he was false. He was the counterfeit. He was not what I thought he was. Mind you, I had already told Source Divine that I didn't want him. I wanted the love, but I didn't want him. And I was okay with having someone else in my life with that type of love. So the more I began to research about this, then I began to connect even more dots, meaning what I was experiencing with my family was related to what I was experiencing with him. And it has to do with the generational bloodline curses. And we are clearing out some karma from past lifetimes. Okay? So even at that time, it was a lot to process. It was a lot to wrap my brain around, like how deep this rabbit hole goes, and how deep was I willing to go down this hole. But what happened, I began to receive more clarity through these videos, the horoscope videos, the tarot videos, the spirituality, the videos on spirituality, trying to get a better understanding of myself and my purpose here. So through all of that, it was like Divine was using these videos to answer my questions. And I know that at some point that divine did not want me to continue to watch those videos because I had already received a lot of the answers I was looking for. And I had a lot more clarity at that point than I did before I started. And so even some of the videos were saying for that, that a lot of divine feminines have become obsessed with the tarot, and that now the evil spirits are aware of this and manipulating and using it um, to keep us invested, to take our energy, right? So at some point there was, few videos that said you need to stop watching these videos, you know, and just be with me, be with divine, be with source, and to gain more clarity. And I began to receive more clarity from divine source through downloads. I would receive visions or recall an experience or a memory. And it's like, oh, these are connected. And that's how I gained clarity, is through these videos and actually paying attention to what resonated with me and my spirit genuinely versus what I want it to be. You know, not every word, not every video, and everything in one video is for you or for me. But there are little bits and pieces in a video that my soul, my spirit resonated with, and that's what I took with me, and I left everything else behind. But through all of that, I began to understand, and God was letting me know that, hey, I was attacked on both sides. I was attacked by my family, my friend, and the counterfeit, right? And that happened. He was able to do what he did was because my heart was still open for him. Even though I didn't want him, but I actually still had love for him, right? So that's why I was like, oh, so even the videos, in the tarot video, there was a common theme that was going around for like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks, where it was like, the evil spirits was using these videos to tap into us and tap into me, and in a sense drain my energy, to use my energy, and being, watching videos back to back to back, for like 3 hours at a time. Oh, I would consider that to be, and I knew it, my spirit knew it, that I shouldn't keep watching these videos, but it was like I was still drawn to them. Even though I had some answers, even though I had clarity, I was still drawn to them. So finally, it was like a stern warning. It's like, get off these videos. And I did. I left it alone. And once I did that, again, I got more downloads, more clarity, more visions, and things like that. And letting me know who was responsible for what. Who was responsible for my car being towed? Who was responsible for my tumors growing? Who was responsible for the extended stay in the hospital? Um, who was responsible for me hemorrhaging? Who was responsible for, let's see, my financial struggles? Because I did during this time started an online business. I started two, and then I started a third one, right? Because those didn't work out. It's like, seemed like whatever I was doing wasn't working. Like money wasn't coming in, and I'm like, this is good stuff. This is good product, right? Quality things, items. It doesn't make sense. Why? And that's because Mr. X was blocking my finances. So for me, I realized that I had to shut that door. And how? I didn't even know how I was going to shut the door on this guy I thought was the one was actually the counterfeit Mr. X. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to detach myself emotionally until there was a video I watched, and it was so on point and eerily accurate to my life, to my situation, that I was like, wow, this is mind blowing. But what she, I remember it was a she. I don't remember the channel, but I remember it was a she. Just saying that this person is jealous of you, and every time they would see you, they saw that you leveling up, and it really irritated them. And it's true. Every time I did see him, every couple of years, I was always in a better position than I was the last time he saw me. I was always living in a better place. I was always driving a better ride. It is, yeah, I was always leveling up compared to him. And this video also mentioned that he basically sacrificed me in order to maintain his status within his community, in order for him to maintain his finances, his resources. He wanted to drain me of all of my resources, but so he can maintain his. So he sacrificed me and whoever else he was associated with. And this video also let me know that he was doing, these spells and witchcrafts and all that. And I've already mentioned that in a previous video you can watch. But the whole point is that I was guided through these videos on YouTube from, and I know my path is not everybody's path. My way is not everybody's way. This was me searching for anything, for any answers. Not that I ever truly lost faith in God. I knew that I was just in so much pain, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that I could not hear or feel or sense the divine presence as I had before. And I knew that me suffering from this PTSD, that I really needed help. And I did seek help. Not only self-help on YouTube, through licensed therapists online, but I also went to a therapist in person to help me to unravel my emotions so I could see clearly. So, that's how I gained clarity. That's how I knew that I was the one. I was the one in my family to break the generational curses. I am the one who suffered the most. I am the one who sacrificed the most for my ancestors and for future generations. It's a big task for sure. It's a big mission, but I made it. I'm still here. I'm still thriving. And believe me, many things tried to take me out and came very close to it quite a few times. But I'm still here. My purpose, my mission was to free myself so I can free others, to free my family. So for anyone out there going through this right now that I've been through, just know that you will receive clarity. You will receive instructions. You will be much better and stronger when it's all said and done. Excuse me, I wasn't expecting this. I I just know how hard it was for me. Really hard. And I made it through all the attacks. I made it. But I didn't do it alone. I did it with God. I did it with divine creator. I did it with source. I know I wouldn't be here. There's no way. If I didn't have divine help, there's no way. So just be encouraged. I promise you, I have been through hell. Ooh, I've been through hell. But now I'm ready for my heaven. Because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's about others. It's about millions of others' souls. And I didn't truly understand that until God, divine, began to work on me even more from the inside out. And letting me see and know, like, hey, you have a mission. You have a large mission to fulfill. And I'm here with you. I haven't left you ever. Even though you thought I was gone, but I never left you. I was always here. And I'm going to still be here for your mission. So for anyone out there that is doubting, questioning, looking for answers, just know that you will receive them. You may be in so much pain right now that you can't hear, feel, or sense the divine presence like you want to. But what I realized is that the most important thing to truly hear is to be still. Get out of your own mind. Stop the monkey mind jumping all over the place. To allow your body to be still and at rest and at peace. Allow yourself that 5, 10, 15 minutes just to be at peace. And to open yourself, your mind, and your heart to receive what divine has for you. It might be downloads, messages, a word, or instructions, direction, whatever. But that is actually key. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to share today. This video is much longer than I had anticipated, but obviously there was some things that needed to be said. So there it is. So this is how I gain my clarity in the wilderness. And I know that divine will use different people, situations, and things to speak to us. So again, the way that I gain clarity may be different for you. And that's okay, because we're different people and we have different missions. And so the way that divine communicates with us is going to be different. And again, that's okay. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Jackie, and I am forever faithful. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.